We were looking into this topic called VLAN trunking protocol. We learned different modes in VLAN trunking protocol. We are going to do the lab to understand the modes. But before we do that, I would like to finish this small portion which is left in VTP to understand. This VTP has got 3 versions. Version 3 I'll be doing later because packet tracer don't support version 3. We'll have another image in EVE later. We'll do MST, we'll do VTP version 3 later. There are differences between these 3 versions and which is popular. According to me, it is version 2. Maybe today they might have switched to version 3, but version 1 is not a good version. Why? Version 1 don't have that strong authentication method. Yes, VTP does support authentication. That's very important thing. We don't have that authentication in version 1. Secondly, the number of VLANs version 1, you see here, improved functionality, meaning over version 1 by adding the ability to propagate extended VLANs. What does that mean? Version 1 won't support that extended VLAN. These VLANs are called as extended VLANs. VLAN number 1062.4095. Version 1 will not propagate extended VLAN. Yeah. So you can have only, creating of VLANs, deleting of VLANs, modification, meaning giving name change, etc. So don't worry about this token ring stuff. Version 2 supports token ring, but it's not an important point today. We have everywhere Ethernet, we have fiber optics. We don't have token ring. Token ring is not supported in version 1. Version 2 supports it, but who cares? Next is VLAN pruning. VLAN pruning is available from version 2 onwards. What is VLAN pruning? What is the meaning of pruning? Can anyone say the meaning of pruning? So pruning is nothing but cutting unwanted branches so that the trees will go straight. Sometimes people don't want tree to go straight. They want to they want it to be bushy. For example, this drumstick tree, in my home, I don't like it to grow very high. It's going very high than my building now. From there, it's difficult to take the drumstick from there. The tree is also not too strong. You cannot climb the tree. So I wish, I will prune on the top so that the tree will be short and I will have more drumstick in a reachable distance. You know now what is pruning. In networking, in VLAN pruning means what? Each VLAN takes traffic, right? Different traffic. Each VLAN has got its own traffic. When I don't want some traffic to go to some part of switches, when I don't want some traffic to go to some switches, I can prune it. I can prune. When I prune, traffic zone go. What am I pruning? I'm not pruning the traffic. I'm pruning the VLAN. These VLANs don't advertise to that switch. I'm telling VTP, don't advertise this VLAN 333. Which means what? Traffic of 333 cannot go. Traffic of 333 cannot go because that VLAN is not allowed to pass through the trunk link to the other switch. That's called VLAN pruning. I want to explain you this with whiteboard. Okay, now I'm not talking about VLAN pruning now. I'm just talking the concept. You see, VLAN 30 is not there in the second switch. I have a computer here in VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30. I have computer here with VLAN 10, VLAN 20. I have VLAN 30, VLAN 30, VLAN 10, VLAN 20. Now, if I ping from number 3 to number 4, I can ping. Same VLAN. I can ping from 3 to 6. I can ping from 2 to 5 and 8 because belong to same VLAN 20. I can ping these. But if I ping from 1 to this 7 and 9, no ping. You know why? Can anyone say why? Traffic of VLAN 30 is not allowed to pass through the second switch because that broadcast domain switch 2. Because that particular broadcast domain, which is called VLAN 30, is not there. So it won't be allowed to pass through. As a result, PC number 1 cannot ping 7 or 9. 7 and 9 can ping, no problem. But 1 cannot ping 9, 1 cannot ping 7. All right, what is next? This is one basic switching knowledge that we should have. Now let us go to that VTP stuff. Now, what is the default VTP mode? Can anyone answer? Server mode. Server mode. Now let's assume all these are in server mode. I left it default. Now we got the same number of VLANs. When VTP pruning is not enabled, VTP will take all the VLANs that you created on switch 1 to switch 2, 3, and 4. VTP is carrying all the VLAN information because there is nowhere we configure pruning. Let us assume I do not want VLAN 30 to go. I don't want any VLAN traffic of 30 to go to these two switches. Why? Because I know that my employee belonging to VLAN 30 is not connected to switch 3 and switch 4. I know very well those two switches do not have this development team. Development team members are connected only on switch 1 and switch 2. Development team members are not connected at all to switch 3 and 4. But VTP is going to advertise this 30. And if there is an ARP layer 2 broadcast, definitely it will go here because VLAN 30 is there and these are all trunk links carrying all VLAN traffic. It is unnecessary. This ARP traffic going to switch 3 and 4 is unnecessary. So, how can I tell VTP not to advertise only this VLAN? Simple. Go to this switch and say in the global mode, VTP prune VLAN 30. That's all, one line command only. So in the VTP advertisement, no information about 30 will be given to switch 3. So switch 3 will, if it is not receiving, switch 3 will not be able to give to switch 4. Now you compare this one to the previous scenario. If VLAN 30 is not there, will the traffic of VLAN 30 go to switch 3 and 4? No. It won't go. VTP pruning is the global configuration mode command. Simply on the global configuration mode, you type VTP prune and then the numbers of the VLAN. But no one is using this. You know why? VTP itself is a Cisco preparatory. No one is using VTP in first place. I cannot say no one. Very few. So when you have VTP, you may try this as an option. But what in real world they do, you know? In real world, if they want to prune some VLAN, they don't use VTP in first place because they don't have all Cisco device. Few Cisco, few some other vendor, mixer, so they can't use VTP protocol. Every switch they go and configure VLANs manually. Then how they prune some VLANs? When you configure trunk, you can say allowed VLANs. Allowed VLANs. So trunk won't allow VLAN 30 traffic. You may have VLAN 30 created here, but the trunk will not allow VLAN 30 because the allowed list VLAN 1, 10, 20, and 40. 30 is missing. Yeah, you have an allow VLAN command. Yeah, I just went into this second switch. No, not the second. I went to the third switch and I created VLAN 200 and 300. I created VLAN 200 and 300 on the third switch, and I'm expecting that on switch 5. Sorry, let's check it on switch 4. Show VLAN brief. You see it is replicated. Let me go to switch 1 and check. It is there. 5 also will have. Because I mistyped the command, it is searching for a command called N. They're searching the domains, asking everyone, you see, asking everyone what is N. It is asking everyone what is N. No one is going to respond, and then it will time out after 60 seconds and it will come out in Cisco device. To avoid that, we used to type what? To avoid this wait time, what we type? No IP domain. Lookup. Lookup. So fine. Anyway, I'm not going to type that. This is what I want to show VLAN brief. We got this VLANs replicated. See, this replication, if you want to stop, then you need VTP pruning, but Packet Tracer won't support that command. Let me try. VTP, see, the command itself is not available. Here only you will have that command, VTP pruning, VLAN. You need to put the VLAN number. That's all, that easy it is. But what I'm trying to show you now is, let the VLAN be replicated, no issues. Don't allow the traffic to pass through. How do you do that? You can control it on the trunk link. I can go to this port F01 of switch 3, interface F01 of switch 3, and say switch port trunk allowed VLANs. You see, I can say allowed VLANs 100, 200, 300. These VLANs are allowed. Now, let's say show VLAN brief, you see. Show interface trunk. I said only allow these VLANs. You see, VLAN 1 is not allowed on F01. By default, VLAN 1 is there on the switches. By default, the trunk port will allow all the VLANs that you created. These are created VLANs. Along with that, the default VLAN. But on F01, I said allowed VLAN is only this. So F01 is now not allowing VLAN 1 traffic. Now I want to remove 200 from here. I want to just allow only 100 and 300. How can I do that? You might have noticed that command. I'm going to show you. Switch port trunk allowed only VLAN. You see? Remove 200. This will remove. Now let's see. Show interface trunk. You see? 200 is also not allowed. This is what we do on the real world, because mostly the switches are multi-vendor. We don't use VTP, so you can't use pruning. When VTP is not there, how can you use VTP pruning? Not possible, right? Then how do you prevent some VLAN traffic going? You just deny that in the trunk link. Even though the other switch have got the VLAN, they won't get the traffic because the trunk link is not permitting. Trunk link is the one which is inter-switch link, no? Okay. Now going back to our learning. Version 2 has got this support for you. If you want to prune some VLAN, you can prune. See, what does VLAN pruning does? It helps to limit unnecessary VLAN traffic on the trunk by pruning the VLANs that are not allowed to use on certain switches. That's the definition of VTP pruning. What does VTP does? VTP prunes VLAN. We call it as VTP pruning, not VLAN pruning. Of course, it is going to prune VLANs, but who is doing this pruning? It is VTP. All right, now it allows the VTP to operate on the trunk port that are configured as non-native. Forget about these concepts. This is token ring concept. We don't use token ring. Next. Now, version 3. Version 3 is available on Cisco iOS 15.0 onwards. Version 3 has got more enhanced security. See, VTP authentication is there in VTP. Let me show you. We have version 2 already enabled. See, show VTP status. Version 2, I can enable authentication like this. VTP password. Okay, VTP password. You can type some password and you need to make sure the password is same on all the switches in order to exchange the VTP information. In order to exchange the information, what information? VLAN information. The password should match. Listen carefully. This is the hash value before enabling password. I'm going to now enable password. Password is LKJ. Now, if you go, the hash value will not be same. You see, the hash value is changed. 8F0C. Totally different. So what I'm trying to say is, this hash must match with the other switch to say that VTP is functioning correct. If this is not matching, then there is some issue. What is the issue with the other switch? The other switch don't have the same password. So now, if I delete VLAN, show VLAN brief. If I delete VLAN 300 from here, no VLAN 300. It gets deleted locally, show VLAN brief. It is deleted, show VTP status. It says there are 7 VLANs now, revision number is 4. Let's go to the next switch. In this switch also it will be deleted, show VLAN brief. Deleted, 300 is no more. Show VTP status. You see the hash value ending in 54? Here also 54, matching. But on switch 3, show VLAN brief, you still have that 300. And show VTP status, the revision number is only 3, which means it didn't copy the revision number 4 update coming from switch 2. The reason is the hash value is not matching, they are not syncing. The reason is the password is not enabled. So I'm going to enable the password on the other switches. VTP password LKJ. Okay. Now I'm going to see the database show VLAN brief. I don't have 300. Now let me add a VLAN. VLAN 400. Now let's go and check the switch 1. I will see VLAN 400 because the password is same on all the switches. 400 is there. And the hash value is 60, 67, 28 on the top, 67. Let's check the other switch. Okay, randomly I'm opening 3. Okay, you see 28, 67. This proves that they're all in same password, same domain. They're all synced. They will have same number of VLANs. So authentication is supported in version 2, but strong authentication enhanced authentication or enhanced security is available in version 3. What it means, enhanced security? You can have one server switch as a root switch. Root switch. See, this is something new. Don't compare the word root switch to the STP root switch. That is spanning tree root. In VTP, this version 3, what it will do, it will wait for the root switch to provide VLAN information. I repeat, simply server switch cannot distribute VLAN information. For a VLAN information to be distributed, the switch need to be a server switch along with the root switch capability. Root switch. Only when both root and server, that switch is eligible to distribute the VLAN. So more secured here. Enhanced security. You don't have this root concept in version 2 and 3. You see, it's a VTP server switch. At the same time, it is also a transparent mode, which is not at all imaginable in version 2 and 1. In version 1 and 2, you have 3 modes: server mode, client mode, or transparent mode. You cannot have server mode when it is a transparent mode. You cannot have server mode when it is a transparent mode. In VTP version 1 and 2, you cannot have server mode when it is in a transparent mode. But here you see, it's a server mode switch, but it is not a root switch, it's a transparent mode. VTP server, it's a transparent mode. This is something new, different. Only when I do the lab, you will understand this better. So these 2 points you need to remember. Okay, what about the backward compatibility? VTP version 1 and 2 Version 3 has got backward compatibility, but some limitations. What is that? Because VTP version 1 and 2 cannot understand root, you cannot have the benefit of root when you mix version 3 and version 2. You cannot have that enhanced security. You can have VTP, but version 3 will behave like a version 2. Compatibility is there, you cannot have the full benefit of version 3. Only version 2 benefit you can get it from version 3 if you mix. All right. Now those differences I also explained you yesterday. Sorry, displayed you this tabular column. You see, VTP version 1, they don't support extended VLAN, no support. Version 2 and 3 supports it. And then token ring, that doesn't matter anyhow, it is supported in 2 and 3. Token ring is no more in industry. Next, pruning. Pruning is available in 2 and 3, but not in 1. Authentication support with the MD5 hash means extended authentication. You have here. Here we have authentication. This is too funny. They have put no here. I showed you the VTP authentication. I enabled password, but it is plain text. So it should be, MD5 or extended authentication. That is what. Anyway, let it be like that. Next. Private VLAN support. Very interesting stuff. But we'll not be seeing now. You need to know this. VTP version 3 alone supports private VLAN. Private VLAN support is only in version 3. VLAN consistency check, meaning the root switch will go and check whether every switch have got that VLAN properly distributed. The check is there only in version 3. Version 2 and 1, you only need to check. But version 3 will go and do the check, and if something is missing, it will update. But backward compatibility is there, but there is some limitation. We spoke already. All right. And then the revision number matter and all, we know version 1 also have got revision number, version 2 also uses revision number. All right. Right. So about version 3, I want you to wait for some more days. We will finish version 3 later. We don't have immediately that image in my laptop or computer. Have it, I need to install. Version 1 and 2 is what you can practice with packet tracer. That's what we are going to do now. Right after you make this switch as a client, you will not be able to create or delete or modify VLANs. See, some time back, we only created 500 on this switch. But now if I try to create some VLAN 600, not allowed. Delete that VLAN that I created here, will it delete? No, not allowed. Even though this 500 was created here, it won't allow now, because now it is in a client mode. Earlier it was in server mode. It was created here when it was server. When it is client, I couldn't delete, but I can delete from anywhere. You see? Show VTP status. The hash value is 593F, which is also same on the client. Show VTP status. This is the client. Same 3F59. I can go to the server and delete that VLAN. No VLAN 500. It gets deleted. What is the status now? 5D D3. Let's go to the client. This is client. Wait a minute. I think I deleted. Yeah, I deleted. I did. Why? Let me check whether the replication happened on switch 2. Yeah, here you see 5D D3. Show VLAN brief. 500 is gone. From here also it should go. It will go. Show VTP status. It's not going, then I'll do one thing. I will delete one more VLAN from switch 2. I'm pushing VTP. Sometime, some VTP packet will get lost in the path. I can also delete from switch 5. I'm going to switch 5. No VLAN 200. No VLAN 100. Show VLAN brief. 500 is still there. This 3 is blocking for some reason. 3 got isolated. Why? Amazing. Zing. The client is not working proper. Let me go and make switch 4 as also client. VTP mode client. Okay. Now, what I'll do on switch 5, I'll create some VLANs. VLAN 999, name 9. VLAN 888, name 8. So I created this in the server. It's a server B4F3. Let's check it on the next client. This is a client. See, client is copying from server. Show VLAN brief. You have 88899. Let's check it on switch 3. Yes, now it is synchronizing. B4F3. That 555 is 500. This 500 is still there. Okay, what about switch 2? Let's check switch 2. Oh no. Let's check switch 1. Yeah. You know what happened? That one, switch 4 and 5 had bigger revision number. Earlier this 500 was deleted from here, but now it got copied from, see? Now it got copied from switch 4 and 5's update. So what you understand, these clients have passed the VLAN information. The client is passing the VLAN information, but client is not allowing you to do any changes here. If I say VLAN 999, I will not be allowed to go in. because it is in a client mode. Now let us learn transparent mode. What is the domain name? What is the domain name that we have in this switches? Can anyone say? Are they all same domain? What is the domain name? ABC. All the switches are having same domain name. And right now the VLANs that is already there in switch 3 will remain unchanged. I repeat, this is server, this is server, this is client. I'm going to change it as transparent, and this is client, and this is server. Right now we have some VLANs 888, 999, 500. Okay, these VLANs are not going to be deleted when I make it as transparent. It will be there. And when I configure 777 here, it will come to all these switch except switch 3. And when I create here VLAN 4444, it will be local. It won't be going to other switches. See, this can be asked in interview. VTP is enabled. The switches have got some VLANs. Now when you make the switch as a transparent switch, what will happen to the existing VLAN? Answer should be, it will remain unchanged. Next question may be like this. You have a transparent switch in the middle, and there is one server switch where you configure 777. Will the 777 cross the transparent switch and go to the downstream? Yes, it is crossing and going to the downstream without synchronizing local. Let's go check it. Right now, this is in client. Show VTP status. It is in client. I'm going to turn it as VTP mode. You see, transparent. When you turn it as transparent, what will happen? This revision number will go to 0. I repeat, I repeat, I repeat. When you make a switch as a transparent switch, VTP mode transparent, the revision number will go to 0 and it will never increase whatever change you may do on the switch. Revision number will not increase. If revision number is not increasing, then it will not generate any update, VTP update. You see, I did it. Now you see, revision number is 0. And what about the VLAN? It's still there, not deleted. Now I'm going to create VLAN 444, name 4. And this will not increase. This will not increase the revision number. As a result, no updates will go out. The other switches will not have 444. No 444. Now you see, I'm going to delete 9. No VLAN 900 999. I deleted this VLAN 900. It gets deleted in switch 1. It is gone. It is even getting deleted on switch 4. It is gone on switch 4. Even on switch 5. What did I delete? 999. No? This is similar to issue. You saw, no, this client got deleted, but the transparent switch will not delete because it will neither synchronize with the update nor send any fresh update. You see, it still have 99. 3 has got 999, but 4 don't have. It is because of the update coming from 1 and 2. This is not receiving because of some issue with the simulator. It's a bug. Even we saw some time back switch 3 was behaving like that. It's a bug. So we have finished VTP except version 3. Right. Any question on VTP? Anyone has got any question on VTP?